Hi, I'm Ted Orme-Claye, editor of SBC News, and I'm here at the SBC Summit Lisbon with Viktoriia, who's the CEO of the Playa. Viktoriia, thanks so much for taking some time to speak with us. Could you just start off this conversation by explaining to us what the Playa is and what you do?
Sure. We build AI-powered solutions for iGaming operators and platform providers. So in simple terms, we help operators understand their players better and turn this insight into action. Like, they can see the daily recommendations on the lobby with their more relevant content that they can consume. Also, operators can activate them much better, understanding very fast what are the player patterns that you can find out, like what are the different, negative, positive behaviors. And also build these customized journeys, and of course, to retain them pretty much and keep engaged. That's what we do, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So as you said, you've invested quite a lot into AI personalization tools. What was it that inspired you to do this? And is there a particular gap in the market you identified that you thought we can deal with this?
Yeah, I would say the gap is huge. And iGaming overall has so much data, and it's just not really leveraged very well, I would say. So once, I just came from iGaming, a bit from the other side. And once I came, I was like, okay, this is like a perfect match between AI and iGaming. And why don't we try to build better journeys based on data and what data tells us, not just what we assume would be great for the players. So this is how it, in a sense, started. And what we see is that within the iGaming, there is a big competition, and it's getting just harsher every day. There is a lot of insights and good expertise from the entertainment industry overall. Personalization with us is 30 years, which means that, everybody already consumes a lot with Netflix, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. We're unconsciously craving personalization. So that's why we were thinking definitely we need to bring this expertise, this experience from other industry, from the whole entertainment industry to the iGaming as well, so that, there is not just very generic stuff, but you can, build this very nice digital experience when you come and feel oh wow, this is really getting to learn me, and it's getting better every day. So probably this is something that we were trying to make, and we're pretty much on the way to.
And do you think there are any particular challenges that the iGaming industry encounters when it comes to using AI, and how can you overcome these?
Yeah, there are two things that I would mention definitely. One is technology, because many big operators and platforms are here for more than 10 years. Technology has changed heavily over that time, which means that you also need to adapt. And one of the big things that we see is that data quality is essential for personalization. And this is something that can be challenging for many operators and platform providers, because they, might have it in silos, fragmented, not full, and stuff. So this is one of the things that, you actually need to bring together. And also another thing is how you use it further. So technology part is important, and another part, which probably even more important, is focus. That's what I see, that typically you're trying to, launch new markets, start new brands, pretty much, try to grow everything, develop your product, but there is not much focus in order to invest in the quality, because you're you're in a rush to be better. But for that one, you need to stop and try, to organize this chaos in a very good process. And that also requires a lot of focus from all the business units within the company.
So AI has become a huge talking point, right, over the past couple of years. There's a lot of conversations around it and its use in a lot of different industries. From what you've seen, are there any particular misperceptions about AI, particularly in the iGaming space?
Yeah, I have my favorite one. So what I hear quite often is that personalization is confused with segmentation. It's like, we have segments, we have journeys per segments, so we do personalization. But personalization comes from the word person. So it means that if you can do it by person, then it's personalization. And this is what segmentation quite often cannot provide you. And this is pretty much why you use machine learning or AI technologies for personalization, because you cannot automate it. It's impossible. So that's probably this is a myth that we are always trying to educate, is that segmentation is great. This is a good start and you're doing great. But there is a next level that you can go to. And another myth that I'm thinking is that also what we sometimes hear is that that's so easy. I will just do it in-house. Let's hire data scientists and we can do it in-house. And it's also a good way, you can try out. But even in our experience, we were also thinking that, it's easy, but it's not. It's really not easy, because you need to have a lot of different teams working together for one goal. And that's one thing. And another one is that, when you just start with a technology, it doesn't work. So technology is an instrument for you to actually make it better. But there is product and analytics teams, which in a sense drive, and technology is supporting that stuff. So that's in a sense why, building in-house, it's not just one data scientist, it's a team that needs to make it happen.
And now, so this industry that we're in is probably the most competitive it's ever been. Has this really made personalization a lot more important for companies, do you think?
Yeah, I think this is crucial. Maybe, not everybody is feeling it right now, but in 2 years it will. Because it impacts directly your unit economics. In a sense, acquisitions is getting more expensive. Providers are getting more expensive. So operators are really squeezed within that, yeah. Which means that you do need to invest in retention from day one. Otherwise, your unit economics will not just work. And personalization, this is one of the ways, and I would say the most essential one, how you can make a high quality retention. Because in a sense, personalization kind of helps you to build this very nice, engaging experience for the players. And once you solve that, all the money will come. So exactly, personalization is the answer, I would say. And it will be within the next 1-2 years in order just to stay profitable.
For a lot of companies are a lot more resource limited. How should these companies tackle personalization without having to rebuild their entire tech stack?
Yeah, so if you're resource limited, it's still, you can start already. What you can do first, I would say, is that data quality, this is the most essential part. So and only you can do it right. Or, you can also involve some company to help you, but this is a step 0, I would say, because as everybody is saying, garbage in, garbage out. So that's the first step. And second step, I would say that there is a choice. You can either build it in-house or hire some other solutions like the Playa in order to make it happen. And again, if you don't have enough resources, probably this third-party solution is a good choice. Because in a sense, it's much faster. You can go up to speed much faster. You don't need that much resources because it's always hiring, which is also the most important. And then, onboarding, getting to know each other, making it a team, and ta-da-da. So it's already 6 months gone in a sense. So I would probably think about it again, and it can be strategic. Both ways are good enough. And then just start with the business case, what exactly you want to solve. And with this business case, just be very, very specific and start maybe even small, and it's okay. But just define what you want to get, what are the success metrics, how can you test it, and then just test and roll out. And this is just iterative process how you can do it. If you don't have much people, it's okay, just go one by one. If you have solutions, you can actually start and be much faster. So this is how at least I would approach it. And maybe there's another thing which is also important, it's like a star, so that everything happens is like probably you do need leadership support. So if you have this as a goal for a company, it will work. If it's just initiative of one person, it's really hard. I wouldn't probably even try, but yeah.
So to round things off, what does success look like for the Playa over the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, so success for the Playa. Overall, our goal is to pretty much increase the bar so that iGaming is becoming more player-centric and more engaging experience overall, in a sense like an entertainment industry. Yeah, but of course still keeping the responsible part here. So what we will see as a success if, iGaming operators and platform providers, for them, personalization will just become a norm, and it's going to be like a new baseline that you need to have in order to actually just be. And if we can help operators in this way, it's going to be a big success for us. Yeah.